More key inflation data to come this week with S&P Global Services Composite and Manufacturing PMI data for May, along with a look at Q2 GDP, the second estimate, Q1 PCE, second estimate, and PCE reading for April as well. All set to be released. We'll get wholesale and retail inventories and Michigan consumer sentiment, along with earnings from NVDA, Snow, UiPath, and retail names Costco and GPS. But we finally get some progress on the debt ceiling negotiations in Washington. Biden in the hot seat to get this deal done. It's another dose of your weekly market prep, the week ahead preview right now. The week kicks off on a quiet note. We'll watch for further debt ceiling headlines that could come at any time, with momentum between the two sides seemingly positive going into the weekend. Any further momentum or a possible deal could be a strong positive catalyst for the overall market. During the session, JP Morgan shares will be on watch as the company is scheduled to host its annual shareholder meeting kicking off at 8:30 Eastern. During the pre-market, the company last made it clear it was not interested in acquiring any further struggling regional banks last week. After the close, earnings and pandemic favorite Zoom will be on watch, set to report its latest earnings. The struggling video conferencing platform will need to blow away estimates, with many competitors in the space now and the business model itself being questioned of late. Last week, the company shared plans to go all in on AI, announcing it was teaming up with AI startup Anthropic to integrate Anthropic's Claude AI assistant into Zoom's productivity platform. On to Tuesday we go. It starts off with economic data on watch just after the market opens at 9:45. We'll digest the S&P Global Services Composite and Manufacturing PMI data for May. These indicators gauge the performance of various sectors of the economy, shedding light on the overall health and growth potential. Last month, PMI data showed an increase in activity, indicating positive momentum and underlying strength in the overall economy. Pre-market earnings to watch out for as well. Retail names DKS, Lowe's, WSM all on watch. Lowe's shares will be in the spotlight specifically as we got HD, if you remember, Home Depot last week missing estimates with their latest results and forecasts. Wednesday earnings will be back on watch as well, with the busiest slate of companies set to come through, kicking off in the pre-market with ANF, URBM, EXPR, and Chinese EV maker XPEV all coming through. Most institutional moves on the stock have been to the upside of late, with most analysts also looking for a beat from the overall company. During the session then, MA, MasterCard, not one we look at very often, but their shares could be worth a watch as the company is set to kick off its two-day blockchain event. After the close then, NVDA will headline those companies reporting earnings. The well-discussed chipmaker remains the top performing S&P name so far this year, up well over 100% from its January lows. The investor race to put money to work in potential AI names, given the massive success of the price action so far this year. Most analysts are still expecting a beat from NVIDIA. And that brings us to Thursday. More important insights into the job market with the release of the initial jobless claims coming at 8:30 a.m. as per usual. This data provides a snapshot of the number of individuals filing for unemployment benefits, offering valuable insights into the labor market's underlying strength. At the same time, we'll closely monitor the second estimate of Q2 GDP and the second estimate of Q1 personal consumption expenditures, or PCE, the Fed's favorite inflation measure. These indicators offer a comprehensive view of the economy's growth and consumer spending patterns. At 10 a.m., we'll examine pending home sales for April. This data providing valuable information into the state of the housing market and insights into potential future home sale activity. Earnings on deck for Thursday as well, including retail names Best Buy, Costco, and Gap, along with semiconductor name MRVL, all set to report. Let's go on to Friday. Kicking off pre-market, it's the most important economic release of the week. The Fed's preferred reading on inflation at 8:30 Eastern. Markets will closely watch the release of April PCE. The number measures changes in consumer prices and inflation. Simultaneously, we'll analyze wholesale and retail inventories coming out also at 8:30. Finally, at 10 a.m., we'll focus on Michigan consumer sentiment sentiment. That reflects consumer confidence in the overall economy. This reading also has an inflation expectation portion to it. That part typically moves the market. Data last month showed the surprise downtick in this reading, suggesting that the overall economy possibly under more pressure than the Fed still thinks. As always, we'll bring you all the action live daily as it happens on TraderTV.Live.